Welcome to me and you outside. I got my 17 right here. 17 HMR, cheap gun I bought at Walmart. I'm fixing to sneak up on a groundhog at my house. He's been going under my house. I'm gonna have to try to eliminate him. He's just around the corner over here. Around that corner right over there. I'm gonna go over there and see if I can get a shot at him. The acorns are really crunchy. I mean, they're terribly crunchy. I got that rascal. Oh man, I've been trying to get him for a long time. For a long time. Oh, it's a very big one too. Oh my. That's a good looking groundhog right there now. That's gonna be some fine eating. Oh, yeah, it's a big one. Big old female looks like. That is a good looking groundhog. I'm gonna take him, clean him, and I'm gonna have some groundhog and sweet potatoes. I got that groundhog now. I'm gonna skin him real quick and I'll fast forward through that for you so you don't have to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skin this thing out. Interesting things about they're grass eaters and they have teeth sort of like a beaver. Okay, it's kind of the same thing. Their teeth continually grow and they have to keep eating and feeding and feeding. And that's the kind of teeth they have. They got big old, pretty good claws. They're big time diggers. They dig under your house, they dig under your garage, under your shed. They don't have much of a tail, a little short tail there. Hind feet are just kind of like the hind feet that remind me, in fact the front end and rear feet remind me of a raccoon. If you saw the track, you'd get them mixed up, whether it's a raccoon or a groundhog for sure. I'm gonna do something I've never done with the groundhogs. I'm gonna weigh this thing. If I can hook it by the teeth here and pull it up. This groundhog weighs almost 12 and a half pounds. I'm just telling you, for a groundhog, that's just pretty big. 12 and a half pounds. Little ears, eyes. I'm gonna get this thing skinned here real quick. Now, skinning the groundhog on YouTube is no big deal. It's nothing new under the sun, as far as that goes. I'm just gonna make a cut around the leg here. I'll fast forward this here. I've skinned lots of animals in all kinds of conditions. But this is one of the fattiest animals I've ever seen in my life. See these balls of fat? I got a bunch of fat like that out of that groundhog. And what he's doing, or what, yeah, it turned out to be a male. What he was doing was getting fat for the winter, because they hibernate, they sleep all winter, and don't come out to spring. And I'm not going to remove all this fat because some of this fat will assist in the cooking. But some of it I can take off of here. But leave the majority of it on there. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm not sure it tastes good or not. But the previous video, you saw me eat a groundhog and skin it and everything. It was earlier in the year. There was no fat on it like this. I mean, this is the fattiest animal I think I've ever seen. I'm going to cook him with sweet potatoes. I'm not sure if I want to bake him in the oven or if I'm going to put him in my pizza oven. I'm not sure yet. You have to stay tuned to find out. That's the next thing you're going to see is how I'm going to cook this. So hang on. Now, you saw me skin this groundhog. You saw basically a reenactment of me shooting exactly how it happened. But now I'm here. I got my grandkids here. I got Brinley and Jackson. My wife's here. My wife said she might take a bite of it. She didn't know yet, so we'll find out if she will or not. And if that's okay if she doesn't want to. But I got Brinley and Jackson here, and they will eat anything. Well, Jackson will. And Brinley is pretty good about eating stuff too, so they're down here tonight helping me out here. I got this groundhog right here now. I want you to notice something about this groundhog. As I showed you on another video, earlier in this video, that thing is so fat. There's so much fat on this groundhog. Look, fat on the leg, fat all over it. And it was getting ready to hibernate for the winter. That's why it was fattening itself up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off one of these hind legs right here. And I'm going to take off a hind leg and then take off a front leg. And I'm not sure how much more than that I'll take off. And I have got to find this. It's got to have a joint here somewhere. There, I found it. There you go. I said something earlier in the video about eating with sweet potatoes. We're going to eat some of this with sweet potatoes, but not this round here. This round here you're going to see is I'm going to eat this groundhog. Me and the kids are like the Indians used to eat them when the hunting parties were out. I've done squirrel this way, dove this way. And we've done fish like this. This is a groundhog. And I know when the Indians were out hunting, they would run into groundhogs. And that was something animal right there that they could kill for a quick lunch. And they would shoot that groundhog, peel his skin off of him, maybe not even skin him, maybe just throw him on the fire, hide and all. But I skinned this groundhog out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook it like they would have done it. They would have stuck a stick through a hunk of meat, they would have held it over the fire, and they would have cooked it. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're not gonna put any salt on it. And we might later, after we try it without salt. Now we're gonna see. It may be tough. I'm not real sure how this groundhog's gonna be. It's an older groundhog. Hopefully it won't be too tough, but hopefully it'll be tough enough we can pull off and eat it, at least get a flavor. And just to be able to reflect on what the Indians did and how they ate food when they were out and about. And they would just eat anything they come up on. Snakes. It didn't matter what it was. If they could kill it, they would eat it. And especially the hunting parties, they would find these things, catch a groundhog, eat that groundhog right there on the spot. And let me pull off a front leg right here. The front leg's got a lot of meat on it too. I want you to notice something about this groundhog. It's a really red meat. That is the same color as deer meat. It's crazy. It's the very same color. So I've got that front leg. I'll do one more front leg here. So I want 3 pieces here for us to try. And then the rest of this, I'm going to put it in a pan, and we're going to cook it with sweet potatoes and bake it like we would a possum. In a possum and sweet potatoes. That was another video I'd done. Boy, it was good. But here's going to be, when I get next video about this groundhog, will be sweet potatoes, groundhog sweet potatoes. There's the other front leg. All right. This right here would be a gland, which we don't want on this groundhog right there. We'll cut that away. Make sure that that gland is not on there, because you might accidentally take a bite of that, and it probably wouldn't be just pretty nasty. Okay, no glands on the hind leg. All right, we're gonna get some sticks stuck through here, and then we're going to hold them over the fire. We're gonna cook them real slow. We're gonna see how that turns out. So next thing you're gonna see is us with groundhog on a stick. All right, so what I did here is I took off some hunks of meat off of the front leg and off of the hind leg. Jackson got a pretty big piece off the hind leg. A little higher off the fire, Brinley. Raise it up just a little bit. You're too close. It's getting done too fast. So we're trying to figure out to regulate the heat The Indians had this down to a science, but we don't. Why? Because we don't do this all the time. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Yeah, that's about right, Brinley. About up like that, and then you can turn it every now and then. Jackson's got a good old hunk of meat right there. Jackson thinks we're crazy. But you know what? That guy don't care. He's a game player, isn't he, Sandy?
He is a game player.
He is faithful to play this game. And there's Brinley. Look at her. She's having a ball. She still comes down here and does this with her,
They're both good
her
sports.
papa and a Grammy. Good sports. We're loving it. All right, let's get these cooked. We're going to see what this is like. It's going to be really, really interesting. Groundhog on a stick. The groundhog is done. And what I have here, this is the one Jackson did. It was a pretty big hunk of meat. It shrunk up quite a bit because it cooked. It cooked down. Peel it off this stick here. Oh yeah. Well, there you have it. Now, interesting thing about groundhog, as I was showing you earlier, all that fat, this fat, whenever it was cooking, was just dripping into the fire. Now, okay, yes, and it stands to reason that when the Indians would kill an animal like this that had so much fat on it, they probably saved it. Now, here again is all this fat. They would probably slice all this fat off here they could, and they would use that fat to cook things with later, like deer meat or whatever they would cook in a pot, and they would save this fat. So this groundhog has a lot of fat on it. But I'm going to cut into this groundhog right here. Ooh, that looks really good. Really, really, really good. As I was showing you earlier, it is a kind of a dark meat. And I'm just going to cut some slices off here. And I think that it's got a little bit of fat on it. That fat is going to be pretty good eating on this groundhog. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Look at that big old hunk of fat right there. And I'm going to cut that off of there. See that big old piece of fat? That's a big piece of fat. I'll tell you, it smells good. Now, how it tastes and all that, I don't know, folks. I don't know. I did a video with groundhog nuggets, but this is groundhog on a stick right here. And that's what we got. Now, I'm gonna have my grandkids take one bite, just one, without any salt on there. Hold that again, bro. Let me cut these up. I'm gonna cut you up a really small piece, okay? Because I'm gonna have you and Jackson eat a really small piece of groundhog without any kind of salt. Let's go in here and have Jackson take a bite of this. And then I'll put a little salt on this. I'll put a little salt on this groundhog once we take a bite of it without salt, because it's like my wife was just saying, the Indians, and somebody even mentioned that in some of the comments, they would in time trade for salt and minerals and stuff like that. And so there was times when the Indians had salt. Yes, I get that. But there was also times way, way back when they probably didn't have any, and especially the hunting parties, they would eat this stuff without salt. Jackson?
Hello.
You're my first taste tester of groundhog on a stick. Take that piece right there and see what you think. Do it, Jackson. No salt or anything. That's just pure meat. With a little smoky flavor.
Well, it's good.
It is good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm going to sprinkle a little salt on there in a minute. Sandy, you want to take a little bite?
Sure.
I mean, it's not too tough, but it's not really
It's a
that
little
tender
tough.
either. Yeah, it's kind of in between tough and tender.
That's crazy, isn't it? Eating groundhog like that. I like the
Yeah, I
thing.
see what you mean. It's a little chewy.
Yeah. Because that was a bigger groundhog. He was an older groundhog. He weighed over 12 pounds.
It's not really tough. I mean, it's not like you can't eat it. It's
Right,
just a little
right.
more firm.
What's the flavor?
It's not bad, actually, with no salt.
Here, Brennan, you got that one right. You got
This
one
one?
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's pretty good.
I think it has a distinct flavor.
Oh, good.
You like it too? Hold that camera. Let me try a piece of that. Y'all are eating this groundhog up. That's a good looking piece of groundhog right there. We're dealing with a shade The sun, the shade. A little bit of fat on it, not much. I'll be. Tell you right now, if I was out hunting, I was hungry, I killed a groundhog, that'd be the best eating thing I could get a hold of. Guarantee it. I would love it. Now I'm gonna sprinkle just a little salt on here, Sandy. Let's do a little salt, okay? Jackson, would you give me a piece with salt? Right there, Jackson. Go ahead and take a bite of that, Brittany.
Anyone?
Mm-hmm. And the salt, Sandy.
They all have salt on them.
Yep. I salted the whole bunch.
Yeah.
What'd that do
That's
for
really
it, Jackson?
good. It makes it way better.
Yeah, it made it more savory. Like,
It does it?
kind of
It's
brings out
better.
the flavor of the meat more.
Mmm. I wish I could buy that. Wow. Groundhog on a stick.
Yeah, I'd say it's good.
Another one? Do it. Can't believe we're eating groundhog like this.
That's funny. Yeah, the salt made it.
Loving it. Well, folks, I tell you what, we love the groundhog, especially with a little salt on there. Now, stay tuned because I'm going to do another video on groundhog and sweet potatoes. I think that's going to be good. But just different ways you can cook a groundhog. I did groundhog nuggets. I've done a smoked groundhog. We did groundhog on a stick, and it's just been pretty cool. Now, one thing I want to say real quick here as I end this video. These two kids right here, Brindley and Jackson, have been so faithful to come down here at the drop of a hat when I say, hey, I got to do a taste test. You guys come up, they just come down and they never ask for anything. They never complain. They always come down here. They've been doing it for months. They have come down here and tasted so many different things that you have seen all these videos. And I'm in a position now where I'm starting to monetize with my YouTube channel. Thanks to you guys for watching. And I appreciate it so much. And I'm not getting rich or anything like that. You can bet on that. I'm glad. You know what, folks? I'm glad if I can pay for my gas when I'm running around doing this stuff. If I can pay for my gas, that makes me happy. And I'm able to do that plus a little bit more. But it's just been good. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to present my grandkids with a little monetization from YouTube. Okay? And they had no idea I'm doing this. In fact, they were going to be surprised. But here I got something for each one of you.
Oh.
Wow.
That is a $50 bill right there.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
They had no idea I was going to do that.
No idea.
And that ain't much, but it's something, isn't it, Sandy?
Yeah, it's something.
It's something. You got a little smoke in your eyes
Yep.
there.
That's a lot for me. Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks. That's the way you roll here in the Ozarks. Cooking groundhog on a stick. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Appreciate you looking at all my videos. It just helps so much. And to hit the like button and comment. Just comment one word. I don't care. It just helps the algorithm. It's just how it's all connected. But thank you for being there. And so wherever you're at in this world, my friends, have a good morning, good day, good night. Because another video is coming.
Right around the corner.